What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog, and today we're going to be jumping into some Jumpstart action. Jumpstart basically is a kind of a sealed type of environment. It's probably the closest comparison. You basically pay your entry fee, and they give you three choices between different themes. And then once you pick your first theme, they'll give you another set of choices, three additional choices that have some degree of synergy with your first choice, and then you just jump right in. There's no deck building, there's no sideboarding, there's no nothing. Basically, the deck is already predetermined for you once you've made your two selections, and all these cards you get to keep in your collection, and they are legal in historic only. These are not legal in standard; they are legal in historic only. But I will include historic brawl, of course, which is an absolutely fun format, which I think that's probably the biggest winner from the Jumpstart environment. There's definitely some historic playable cards from this event, but I think the overall power level definitely favors the brawl environment with this set. So there are lots of duplicates. It is kind of a lot of overlap with the M21. The nice thing is you do get the protection, because if it's an M21 card, it'll be the M21 version. Anything before M21, it'll be a special Jumpstart version, and you do not have protection on that. So there are some, particularly some rares and other cards that you will just end up with duplicate copies of that really serve no purpose. So I know I've got a couple copies of Woe Strider because I've been playing this event a fair amount the last couple of days, and there's some other rares that you might see that are in Jumpstart, but you probably already have in your collection. So it's not a very good card acquisition method, and the fact that you can't buy packs to open these as well separately makes it very taxing on your wild cards, which are already kind of a problem sometimes. So kind of the main purpose of this event really is, one, if you haven't played it very much or at all, it's a great way to kind of start building that collection of Jumpstart cards while potentially winning a couple of rares as well. So you do get wins in the form of rare wild cards, or not wild cards, but a rare card you don't already have, and these are Jumpstart cards. So again, there are some rares that you already will have in your collection from previous sets that could be kind of a wasted slot, which kind of sucks. There's no protection from that; it doesn't count towards your vault or any of that kind of progress. It's just a total waste. But the vast majority, there are plenty of spicy new rares and mythic rares that you will definitely want in your collection, especially if you do play the historic format at all, which is going to continue to get more and more support, and definitely looks to be very, very promising moving forward. So basically, once you get to 2 wins, there's no additional rewards based on that. However, they don't stop you from playing. There's no X number of losses and you're out. It's not that kind of a environment. It's meant to just jump in, have some casual fun, and so I think the best approach to playing this event, if you haven't already played it, or if you're still kind of not really sure who this format is for, is if you enjoy to just jump into some quick matches, kind of have different themes to play around with every single time, and while also building your collection at the same time. That's really the best approach to do this. If you just want the cards, I would probably not play this very much at all, maybe just a few times just to kind of build up some of your collection. I know for me, when I was doing this the first times, I was basically just focusing on the options that were something I'd already chosen before, and just kind of trying to get new cards that way. So each have a unique land, which is kind of interesting. Some of them are really, really cool, definitely something very desirable, and as far as I know, that's the only way to get them. Doesn't mean they won't be available to acquire them later on down the line in other ways. Obviously, they have the daily deals format where you've seen, or not format, but option in the store where you can kind of acquire things that you weren't sure if you were going to get maybe at some point. So maybe we'll start seeing these lands, in a few months from now. We'll see some of these lands in the store on their daily deals or something like that. But as for now, there's the only way to get the lands. There's a link through Wizards. You can look it up, and it shows you what all the cards are in each theme. And some of them, there's just one set, and others they have up to 4, I believe, is the most. So there's 4. So if you choose like a Legion option, I think there's 4 different Legion decks. And there's obviously significant overlap. They're mostly the same cards, but there's definitely some differences, especially in terms of the rare slot. And some of them are go from just being unplayable to stuff you already have to actually like you really want this card. Um, so just kind of a something to look at if you are kind of more focused on kind of acquiring cards. Is kind of look at what sets are more desirable for your interest and what you're wanting to kind of build around as far as Brawl or just Historic in general, and just kind of make your decision based off that. I can put that link in the description below, so if you're not really sure where to find that, I can link that for you, and you can just click on it, and it'll take you straight to what the options are. All right, so we'll kind of talk a little bit more, I guess, about this as we go into it, but let's go ahead and jump into some matches, see what's going on. All right, so we got our entry fee, and we choose our packets. Okay, so we got Legion, Angels, and Minotaurs. I've already opened these before. So Legion definitely favors like kind of a go wide type of strategy, but from what I've seen, the support isn't always there to actually make that happen. So it's okay. I think Angel is probably the safest one. Although Minotaurs can certainly be fun, but it's probably going to depend on what your second theme is. So we'll just take the safe one and go Angels. And, oh, I do not have the lands one yet. Not sure how well these synergize, but I do want to get the lands. Look at the art on the Devilish Mountain. That's super cool. I mean, for me, that's almost worth doing it just for, you know, things like that. Like that mountain is just super rad. Archaeology, the same thing. This island is very cool. Definitely like that. Now there are definitely some fun cards in both of these sets. I think Archaeology has probably a little bit better power level for I think some of the Brawl format, but I think Devilish, especially if you're looking at like a Rakdos commander for Historic Brawl, I think this one definitely adds some nice flavor to that. It definitely rounds out that Devil and Imp theme very nicely. But we're gonna go with lands because they don't have lands, and you know, green white typically go well together. Especially Angels are pretty expensive. Maybe lands will help us kind of ramp into it. I haven't really looked too closely at the lands one, to be honest, since I haven't actually had that option yet. So we'll see what we got. Okay, Angels land. Oh, so you can see right here we have Linvala, and she is an amazing card. Definitely something you will want in your collection. She's a 4-mana 3/4 legendary angel. Flying, of course, and activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. So you can have all the activated abilities you want on your creatures, but it shuts down your opponent from doing this. So this might be just more of a sideboard piece, but what a fantastic option it is. And only 4 mana, it's very reasonable for a 3/4 creature that has that ability. We got Celestial Enforcer. Emancipation Angel is definitely a card you want in your collection. Definitely some fun things you can do with that. Okay, Awakener Druid. Enters, target force becomes a 4/5 Tree Folk for as long as the Druid remains on the battlefield. Well, that's kind of cool. Crushing Canopy, just kind of some versatility. Cultivate's a solid card, and you can see it's M21 version. You can see that here. Fertoid, that's kind of an example of something we got in a previous set. I can't remember what set that was, but we had it. I think it was Ikoria maybe. This came out, but since that's not M21, this is a special Jumpstart version. And I believe the artwork is different, so for what that's worth. But you can see the set symbol obviously is the Jumpstart symbol, whereas this is M21 because this came out in M21. At the top end here we have Mythic and Ulvenwald Hydra, 6 mana reach, power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. That's pretty sweet. So there's definitely some lands matter support we got in our last anthology, and so something like this might fit in there nicely. So now that I have this in my collection, maybe we'll take a look at something like that. Sarah's Guardian's been around for a while. Zendikar's Royal. Oh, that's pretty cool. Get a 2/2 elemental token every time you play a land. So especially with the Zendikar sets coming out in the fall, it's supposed to be kind of a lands matter theme, so this would be pretty fantastic for historic play. Enchant land into a 6/4. Oh, that's pretty cool. Sarah Angel, which has been around forever. Angelic Edict. Not great, but you know, in a limited type environment like this, definitely fantastic. There's a 4/3 for 4. You can pay 8 to make a free creature 5/5 trample. Greenseeker's been around for a little while. Elemental Uprising. Sylvan Ranger. 2 mana 1/1. You guys search for a basic land, put it in your hand. These cards are always fantastic for like the Brawl and especially Commander formats. So if we do ever actually get like 100 card singleton formats, I know there's kind of a fan one that's already started with Gladiator, but it's not truly Commander because you don't have an actual general, so to speak. It's just 100 card singleton. You get to play with all the cards in Historic. So cards like this are just absolutely fantastic in that they have this kind of utility where they leave a body behind and they get the land you need. Especially when you're going like multicolors, you really need that ability in a 100 card format. And Guardian Idol is kind of an interesting card. This definitely can be like a brawl playable, I think, maybe even Historic in kind of a jankier kind of a build. I haven't looked at it too closely, but it definitely inspires some thought that it could see some play. Seems like it could be solid in like a Kalia deck, I was thinking. You know, it's a 2-mana 1/1 flyer, which isn't anything amazing, but it's an angel, so it's something you could get with Kalia. And on Zero Contention, you can see it's M21 version. Same thing. Take Heart, little combat trick. Scroll of Avacyn can be some life gain, and the Feral Hydra. So it seems like we have decent synergy. And the cool thing about this is the lands, actually. These lands are really cool. They're thriving lands. They enter tapped. You have to choose a color, and then they tap for whatever their base color is and whatever you chose the color. So I think their best place for these ones is 3-color brawl lists, because you get your base color. You know, this one is white, and then you get to choose whichever color you're maybe missing in your opening hand, your opening mana base there, and you can kind of get your fixing that way. So that's pretty cool, having that flexibility. So if maybe you have a 3-color deck and you have the other second color in your hand, but you're maybe missing that additional mana you need in a third color, well, these thriving lands can definitely fix that for you. So I love the versatility on them. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's jump into some matches, see if we can get those 2 wins. So there's definitely these games are definitely very hit or miss from what I've played. I'll go ahead and keep it. We got the Druid or the Cultivate, and the Linvala seems decent, although there's not too many activated abilities from what I've seen. That's not a huge part of this format. And we got the Moving Walled Hydra already, so we got some pretty nice power level. But yeah, this format is definitely very hit or miss. Sometimes you go against kind of more aggro style lists. Alright, turn a forest into a 4/5. Okay, so not any land has to be a forest. Well, that's cool. But still on turn 3, that's not bad. And next turn we have Linvala, or just Cultivate to get some more lands out. But they got 2/2 Vigilance. So yeah, it's very hit or miss. So some matchups are just going to be absolutely terrible, and you're just not going to have much of a chance at all, and they'll be over very quickly. And doesn't have Vigilance like a Nissa land, so that's unfortunate. But I still think we go ahead and swing in. See what they... I mean, they're in white, so they probably have some combat trick. Okay, so 2/5, they just block. We got that out of their hand at least. So we'll play you and say white. Alright, so nothing to Crushing Canopy so far, so we'll just kind of keep that in the back pocket. So far we've just seen all the same lands. That's kind of interesting. Okay, there we go. We got the so when you see this land, this is like the Planeswalker lands. So you have the Garruk, you have Teferi, you have Chandra, Liliana. They're all featured in this event as well, and they come with the M21 version of that Planeswalker, along with their themed cards as well. So we're down to 14. Maybe we just kind of slow it down just a little bit here. Well, the opponent has all the answers. But we have this 4/5/4 to kind of keep them at bay. Just want to keep the 4/5 up. So we'll just grab one of each. We'll put the, I guess, forest onto the battlefield. And play out the 1/1 lifelinker. And say go. So we have the Ovenwald Hydra that can potentially kind of help us take over. So they use one of their removal spells, and I don't think they're going to have access to too much more. So this Hydra could potentially just carry us to victory, especially if we can find a way to maybe give it Trample or something. But I don't remember seeing Trample in our deck list here. But yeah, just having a 7/7 could be good enough here, along with our 4/5. Okay, Araska throwback. So yeah, all the so definitely if you're looking just to kind of flesh out your collection, planeswalkers are definitely hard to come by. I've only seen one. I got a Teferi. Yeah, we'll search for a enter the battlefield tapped. I guess we'll grab the Heath. Just rather do that now than have it draw into that. So I think that's both of our tap lands. And now we got lots of mana. We can sink into this, make it a 4/4 for 5 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So have 3 open to Canopy. Or we could just Edict something. So we have both these hit enchantments, which is cool. So if they do find a flyer, we can kind of deal with that. Since well, this has reach though, so that's fine. But they do have some nice pump spells in, I believe, this dog list. Like Basri's Solidarity, maybe, or there's a couple decent cards. Okay, so they just make a 3/4. Sorcery speed. We could just exile the 4/2 since it's the biggest threat and see what they do. We attack with our 9/9. If they want to try to kill it, they're going to lose quite a bit of their board. But they have plenty of tokens they could just throw in front of it. So that's fine. We need to start chipping away at these tokens and smaller creatures. Eventually they're going to find a way to just go really wide on us, and we're not going to be able to keep up. They got a ton of counters and everything. That kind of sucks. I guess we'll drop the Fertilid. And I think just keep swinging in 9. We can pump it with the page just to give it 10/10, maybe throw off their math a little bit, but they're probably just gonna take those blocks. Do they have a flyer? We have a flyer. They don't have any. Yeah, that's what the Christian Canopy is holding on for. Obviously, we're not going to target our own flyer for any reason. So you can see, just like kind of the sealed environment, the power level tends to be very kind of watered down. Target, yeah, that does not work for that. So they get rid of our land, but we have plenty of lands out, but it is a 4/5 creature, which kind of sucks. And nothing. I'm not really too sure what we can draw to get us out of this. So yeah, just like kind of a sealed environment, you get into these kind of board stalls sometimes. They're kind of chipping away at their board a little bit. So that's kind of cool. I might start cracking this Fertilid just to thin out the deck some more. And we have plenty of lands already, but if we can kind of get the last lands out of play, especially if they go to attacks, we'll just block with the Fertilid and then use its ability to at least get another land out. We're going to do one. Grab a... probably doesn't matter at this point. Should have a forest, I guess. Okay. Idle is something. Enters tapped though, so we can't really use it right away. Getting lands out does grow our Hydra. We're kind of slowly chipping away at their board, but they're definitely in a position where they could just string together a couple of combat tricks and just kind of blow us out. So they just block there, get protection. So we get a protection card out of their hand, which could be relevant if they do have any flyers. They're stuck on green mana, so that might explain why they have so many cards in hand still. But yeah, some of these themes are definitely hard to come by. Planeswalkers. There's a rainbow one, which I saw and for some reason passed over. Okay, they're going to blow up our Guardian Idol. Wasn't too big a deal. It's a little annoying because it would have given us a potential 2-2 blocker. Opponent attacks in. So I'm sure they have some kind of a trick here, but we do need to block just to make sure we don't get blown out. Actually, they only have one green mana open. Maybe they're just getting a little restless. What do we want to kill? Probably want to kill the Vigilance. So we'll block here. Block here. Do that. See what their trick is. I'll activate you. Grab a planes. And pump you. 4/4 lifelink versus a 3/3 Vigilance. And they used the protection spell, but they could still have something for 1 mana here. Ooh, Ranger's Guile. Did not realize this was in. So they trade. Got a card out of their hand in the process. That's pretty cool. I guess. Get a 6/4 land. So we whittle away at their board enough that I don't think we're too much danger of just getting blown out here, but there's definitely some things they could have to pump up their team and push enough damage across. We just have the 2 blockers, so I think we'll obviously we're blocking the 6/7 with our 1/1. Okay, so they're attacking just conservatively, leaving their smallest creatures back. Block you, take 6. Pass turn. Oh, it would have been nice earlier. Stack with the 6/4. If they want to block with both dogs, that's fine. They just go for 1. Okay. So we have our 11/11 back. If they have removal, then we're just dead. Okay, 3/1 Vigilance. Still have mana open. If they attack here, they definitely have something. Permanent you control to its owner's hand. Is there anything we want to? We could actually attack with the Hydra, and then if they don't kill it, then we just bounce it with the Angel. Get it back at another land. I think we have mana to do both. Let's go chump. That's fine. And we should have mana to recast it. Perfect. Yeah, we'll take that action. Doesn't matter at this point. The land enters, get a 2/2. Perfect. And that is why Emancipation Angel is a sweet card. Oh. Well, we do have the canopy we can finally use. And I believe we just killed them with the Angel. Unless they don't have lifelink on board, but they could have something. Wow, they're just gonna go all in. What do we want to kill? I guess the 6/7 is the biggest one. So we got 12 coming through. 7. There we go. Should be kill 3. No lifelink. We got him. Wow. Alright, so we got our first win. So let's see what our rare reward is. There it is, Woe Strider. See, I was talking about it, and that is my third one now. And of course, I already have 4 from what was that, Theros? Beyond Death. So that's definitely disappointing. This, like I said, you know, Brawl is kind of the biggest winner, I think, from this pool of cards, Jumpstart. So you don't really need more than 1 in that case. So I'll play this on 1 just to play it. We have an Angel, so that'll be nice. Into 2, into 3, and then we have Edict eventually. We have a 0-5, that'll stall us out on the ground for sure. And a 0-3. Wow, they have all the so they have Under the Sea, and I can't remember what this one is. But yeah, these new lands are pretty sweet. Druid. Let's go for the Enforcer and start attacking in the air since they don't have any. They have a good defense, but they have no offense going right now. And Celestial Enforcer works great with our page. That doesn't really do much here. Could tap out, just turn one of our forest into a. I don't love it. Don't love it. Probably just want to draw a card here. We're kind of stuck on 3 lands. We'll just do this now. Hopefully we can find a land. We do get the 5 life, which is cool. And there's a land. In that case, yeah, we'll go ahead and cast this. Turn a forest into a 4/5 now that we have some lands. So it gives us more options to potentially attack in next turn. So probably just go for the 4/3 here. Just gonna keep going wide to get around these blockers. Green. They appear to be mono blue though. Yeah, they are mono blue because they have both of these basic islands. So it looks like it's is that artifacts? Artifacts and Under the Sea. We can edict something. That doesn't seem great. We don't have good attacks with all this toughness on board, so we'll just keep swinging in the air. Scry in response, because why not? I mean, we could start tapping things down with the Enforcer to maybe give us better attacks. But yeah, this doesn't really do much. And there's not really a good target for the Edict just yet. We could kill the turtle just to get the 5 toughness off board so we can start having better attacks. But it feels pretty medium. But it may just be kind of a necessary evil. So they're finding their lands, and they've got the Arcanist, which can tap for colorless mana to be spent on instant or sorceries. This might be Wizards, I can't remember. A good game, okay. So, are they having fun, or are they just ready to give up? I don't know what's going on. We'll attack and play the Take Heart, I think. So we're getting game life for each attacking creature, and we give something +2/+2. So we'll see how they block first. There's opportunity to maybe kill something, might just go for that. Do we want to kill the fish or the Arcanist? Probably the Arcanist. Let's take care of the 1/1, then we lose this land here. So we get one of their creatures off the board, and we have this as kind of a maybe getcha. If they find one of their big threats. The Under the Sea does have some pretty nice top end with some of the Krakens or whatever. So we'd have Edict for that. So that's what they're kind of hoping to wrap into. Then we can just destroy that and just kind of keep. I think we just keep attacking all. Depending on what we draw, we might just do this and swing all just to kind of force damage across. Okay. So we lose our force. That actually really sucks since we're stuck on 1. Unstable Obelisk. That is it's a fun little brawl commander type card. Costs 3 mana for an artifact, then you pay 7 to activate it, and you can destroy any permanents. Well, there's our Hydra, but we are a long ways from actually being able to get value. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make this Plains a 4/4. So this costs 2 to tap. We don't want to do that. Alright, our opponent just gives up. So yeah, it's kind of a hit or miss aspect of it. You know, our opponent just didn't really have much going on in hand, to look like, and so they just kind of gave up. Which is just kind of the way how some of it's going to go. Like somebody's just going to really bad matchup, and you're just going to have no chance. Sometimes the things you choose just don't synergize very well together. So if you want to win, definitely kind of do some research and kind of what it is. And there's no timer, so when you're picking your packs, you can just kind of look up what the different ones are and kind of see what kind of style it actually is, like what kind of cards it contains, and then you can kind of match up your two themes to kind of get the most value. So all kind of depends on, like, do you just want to play for fun, or do you want to kind of build your collection and get more rewards? Then obviously you want to choose more synergistic, more competitive style themes that go well together, so you can get those 2 wins, so you can get the maximum rewards off of this. Because there's definitely some combinations, like I said, when I was doing it, where I just kind of put together stuff that I just hadn't opened yet, and they were just really terrible together, and I just played a couple games, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to get 2 wins off of this, and I just said, okay, I got my cards, I got my lands, I'm good, I'm just going to resign and, re-enter it. So definitely a bit of a crash grab from Wizards' side, to be honest, but, I mean, it is fun. It is fun. Just kind of be mindful of how you're spending your money, if it's worth it to you. So right there, Angels and Lands, not necessarily things you would think go well together, but they actually synergize quite nicely. The curve actually worked out pretty well. I mean, Angels definitely has some power level at the top end. You know, we didn't get to see the Guardian, but we saw Sarah Angel and Linvala there. Even though our opponent didn't have many activated abilities, it still was like a kind of a target for removal, which is fine because then it allowed some other things to maybe live. But yeah, I mean, just look at just having these in your collection, the nice power level of the Hydra and the Linvala. These are definitely cards you want in your collection. And 2,000 gems is basically the same as opening 2 packs, and that's basically what you're getting value-wise. So I think that's pretty reasonable. Just the problem is with there's not really good duplicate protection. So, like we saw the first reward was a Woe Strider, which I already have 4 of from Theros set. So that having 7 copies like does me like literally no good. So there's definitely some issues with it, but so just kind of go into it with those expectations firmly in mind. So if you want to just jump into some quick matches, have some fun, build your collection at the same time, Jumpstart is absolutely a great format. Probably just don't overdo it. It depends on your budget, of course, whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah, there's definitely such a variety of decks that I think it really adds to the replayability of this format, because you just don't know what 3 options you're going to get each time. So that's definitely interesting as well. Just the sheer variety of it. So that's definitely a ton of fun. There's so many different things you can do. And obviously these lands are pretty awesome. So if you're into that, just having like different artwork, the sort of aesthetic aspect of Magic the Gathering, this is definitely a format that's going to appeal to you, because these lands and so much of the artwork in this set is absolutely amazing. You're definitely going to want it in your collection. And so when you do go to build that Angel Brawl deck or whatever, you can use these these angelic lands and have all that flavor and everything. So yeah, definitely lots of fun things you can do in this environment. Just kind of know what you're getting into. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. If you're playing this format, let me know how your experience has been. And until next time, make sure you jank with a purpose.